Hello, curios and weirdos. I don't know if anyone back in the day used to watch that show on A&E called Intervention, or have you ever been part of an intervention or seen one? But for today's episode of the Picture of Dorian Gray, we're going to see an intervention, but not just any intervention. Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. This is the type of intervention where we reveal our soul by not taking accountability for anything we do. Mhm. So, y'all want to hear a story about it? Y'all want to keep following Dorian Gray and seeing what he doing about it? Well, here we go. We're gonna put Oreo Jr. back there, and I would like to welcome everyone to the Curio Storyteller, where we take books from yesterday and we treat them like old friends that we're revisiting. We cosplay some of the characters within that story. And then at the end, we sit, we look at the story and we say, what was that? Or, ooh, I've done that before. And maybe I should have did it different because is that what it looks like? Or whatever. We just enjoy a good story. It doesn't matter. So for today's yesterday book, we are on our journey continuing with The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Quick recap. Basically, we got a young man who is not liable for any consequences and he's rich. And the reason why he's not liable for said consequences is because he got a picture. All his consequences go to the picture. All his age goes to the picture. So he is running amok. He's getting himself a bad reputation. He didn't have one girl unalive herself because she loved him. Didn't know his name, but loved him. And he broke up with her. I mean, we're just doing anything that we can get away with. Okay. So let's continue down this journey, watching this fool just run amok. And we're going to also watch his friend try to intervene. Let's see how it goes. 13 years later, on the 9th of November, on the eve of his 38th birthday, Dorian was walking home. He had dined at Lord Henry's, and the night was cold and foggy. At the corner, he passed a man with a bag in his hand. Dorian recognized Basil. A strange sense of fear, which he did not understand, came over him. He did not want to speak to Basil, so he pretended not to recognize him. Dorian walked quickly in the direction of his house. You gonna do your friend like that, sir? You just gonna act like you don't know your friend? Dang. Dorian cold. He a cold man. But Basil spotted Dorian and placed his hand on Dorian's arm. Dorian, I have been waiting for you in the library. I'm off to Paris by the midnight train. I'll be gone for 6 months. I want to speak to you before I left. I thought it was you. I wasn't sure, but you was ignoring me. No, I'm kidding. Didn't you recognize me? In this fog, Basil? Why, I can't even recognize Governor Square. I'm sorry that you are going away. I haven't seen you in ages because I've been busy running amok, terrorizing the streets of London. One part is in the book, the other part is not. Y'all can figure that part out. Here we are, said Basil. I really must speak to you. It is most important. All right, you better come in, said the weary Dorian. Basil followed Dorian into the library. There was a bright wood fire blazing in the large open hearth. Brandy and soda stood on a table nearby. Okay, they're gonna get turned. I can't wait any longer, Dorian. There is something I must say to you, Basil stated. What do you want to talk about, Basil? Asked Dorian. I am very tired and want to go to bed because I've been running amok, busting people upside the head and acting a fool out in these streets. It's about you. I think you should know that the most terrible things are being said against you in London. Sorry. Your reputation is in ruins, said Basil sadly. Y'all want to guess how this fool replied, Dorian? Y'all want to guess how Dorian replied, Scott? Y'all want to guess? Take a guess at it.
I'll just wait to see.
Okay, smart man, because Dorian crazy. I don't care what other people gossip about, replied Dorian, and he sighed. I only care about other people's scandals. Okay. You must care, Dorian. Of course. I don't believe the horrible things people say. I think sin is something that writes itself across a man's face. It cannot be hidden. You look as young and pure as you did when we first met. Yet, I see you very seldom, he continued, and I hear such hideous things. Why do so many gentlemen refuse to go to your house or invite you to theirs? Why is your friendship so fatal to other people? Basil ticked off a list of prominent men who have been ruined by Dorian Gray. Y'all ready to hear the list?
Ready.
He mentioned a young royal son who had unalived himself in the Navy. Okay, there go the second person that didn't unalive themselves behind his food, running amok. Lord Kent's son who married a prostitute.
All right.
Okay, he fell in love with a stripper. What's up?
Yeah.
And the scandal of Adrian Singleton, who had been convicted of forgery. Dorian. Maybe Lord Henry isn't the only thing making Dorian Gray do this foolishness. Maybe Dorian Gray just likes doing this foolishness. But let's keep going. Let's see what we got here. All of them had once been close friends of Dorian. Okay, girl. I got a question popped into my mind.
Okay.
Would y'all be friends with Dorian Gray if y'all knew all this? Would you be a friend with Gordon?
No.
Scott would. I would meet Dorian Gray at the bar and see what he up to, because he sound interesting. Sound like he tell a good story or two. And that's not all, added Basil miserably. It said that you have been seen creeping out of dreadful houses at dawn and sneaking in disguise into the foulest dens near the wharf. Uh-oh. Who house you creeping outside of in the morning, Dorian?
Yeah, I want to know.
One of your friends did marry a prostitute, so I don't know, sir. How he meet that prostitute? Can such rumors be true? Don't you care about your reputation? Sir, what do you think? Dorian shrugged. He seemed completely indifferent to Basil's words. He acted as if he did not care about the terrible stories that were circulating. I wonder, mused Basil, if I really do know you. Before I answer, I have to see your soul. How the hell does somebody see somebody's soul? My soul, said Dorian, jumping out up from the sofa and turning almost white with fear. Fair enough. You shall see my soul for yourself tonight. Follow me. It is your handiwork. Why shouldn't you look at it? You have chattered enough about corruption and disgrace. Now you shall see it face to face. I'm going for that EGOT, baby.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I want to just flag you down. Something is just this. It's just messing with my spirit. Y'all want to know what's messing with my spirit?
What's that?
The fact that Dorian Gray is sitting up here blaming Basil because he want to run amok and act a fool. Because how you over here talking about? Look, let me. It is your handiwork. What you mean by that, sir? It's your handiwork. Old boy that married the prostitute is your handiwork, sir. The person that got convicted is your handiwork. But okay, let's keep going. Basil was frightened, as he should be. His friend seemed so reckless. Dorian Gray sneered at Basil with contempt. Like, come upstairs, Basil, he said quietly. I keep a diary of my life. See it for yourself. There was a madness of pride in every word Dorian spoke. He stamped his foot on the ground in a boyish manner. He felt a terrible joy as someone else sharing his secret. The man who had painted the portrait was about to be burdened for the rest of his life with the hideous memory of what he had done. I told y'all he was blaming this man. That's crazy. Okay. Now somebody gonna have to explain to me, like, I'm 5 years old, because I'm confused on why Dorian Gray is blaming Basil for the foolishness that Dorian Gray is running amok doing. Anybody want to explain that?
He's the one who painted the picture.
And that made Dorian Gray run amok.
I guess so. Made it look too good.
Okay, well, let's see what he gonna see in here. They walked silently up to the locked studio. The lamp cast fantastic shadows on the wall and staircase. A rising wind made the windows rattle. You insist on knowing, Basil, Dorian said in a low voice. Yes, he replied with uncertainty. Shut the door behind you, Dorian commanded. You are the one man in the world who is entitled to know everything about me. You have had more to do with my life than you think. He ain't got the bad reputation. So what you talking about, sir? Basil glanced around the room with a puzzled expression. It looked as if it had not been lived in for years. A faded tapestry, a curtain picture, an almost empty bookcase, a table and a chair. That was all it contained. As Dorian was lighting a half-burnt candle, he saw the whole place was covered with dust and the carpet was full of holes. So you think it was only God who sees the soul, Basil? Draw the curtain back, and you will see mine, he said in a voice that was cold and cruel. You are sounding crazy, Dorian, Basil said, seized by a sudden fear. I would do it myself, said the angry young man. He tore the curtain from his rod and flung it on the ground. An exclamation of terror broke from Basil's lips. What do y'all want to see what he saw?
Yeah.
Get ready for it.
Okay.
Look at it. Look at it. I made my face look like it. Look at it. Look at it. That's what he was,
Wow.
Yeah. He saw in the dim light a hideous face on the canvas. It grinned wickedly at him. Something in the expression filled him with disgust and hatred. Good heavens. It was Dorian Gray's own face. Look, he's like, oh my God, this is terrible. I spent all that time working on this painting and you messed it up. The horror was not entirely spoiled, or had not entirely spoiled the beauty. There was still some gold in the thinning hair and some red in the handsome mouth. The sunken eyes were still blue. Yes, it was Dorian Gray. But who had done it? He seemed to apologize or recognize his own brushwork. The frame was his design. The idea was monstrous, and he was gripped by fear. He seized the lighted candle and held it to the picture. It ain't gonna make it look better, sir. It's like putting a ring light to somebody's face who just ain't cute. Like, it don't help. It just enhances. In the left-hand corner was his own name traced in the long letters of bright red. His own picture. What did it mean? Why had it changed? And how had it done so? What does this mean? Cried Basil. Sir, I'm trying to get these people to tell me like I'm 5 years old. Don't nobody know. It means this fool is doing everything that the people are saying that he's doing. I think that's what it means. What do y'all think? What do you think, Scott?
I think so.
Cried Basil, frightened by what he had seen. He turned and looked at Dorian Gray with eyes of a sick man. His hands and mouth twitched. He passed his hand across his forehead. It was covered with sweat. Dorian spoke. I low-key don't want to hear what he got to say because I feel like he's just going to make excuses, but it's worth a go. Let's see. We already here. We're here. So let's go. Years ago, when I was a boy, you painted a portrait of me. You flattered me and taught me to be vain about my looks. One day, you introduced me to Lord Henry, who told me the only thing of value was beauty. Okay. Is anybody connecting dots of where this made Dorian run amok? Because I still feel like you made the choices to do this foolishness you were out there doing. But let's let him cook. He cooking. Your portrait of me made me think I was handsome, said Dorian as he clenched his fist. I didn't want to lose my good looks. In a mad moment, I made a wish. Perhaps you remember it. I remember it, but it is impossible. Was it impossible? Said Dorian, pointing to the horrifying painting. This is my soul. You once told me you had destroyed my painting, said Basil. I was lying, said Dorian. It has destroyed me. So if I had to be a Dorian Gray translator, because I guess that's what we're doing now, I guess he's saying that accountability is a hoax. You know how it's a hoax to be accountable for the things you do? Yeah, that's what Dorian Gray is saying. You were such an ideal to me, Basil said, shaking his head with wonder. This hideous painting has the eyes of a devil. If it is true, if this is what you have done with your life, you must be worse than what people say. Basil shuddered. The horror in this painting is from within. This is from where the foulness has come. You better tell them the truth, sir, and shame the devil. Let me translate what Basil said. Basil said, sir, ain't nobody outside of you made you act this way. It is coming. The call is coming from inside, sir. It's you. You want to do this. You want to make men marry prostitutes. You want to get people convicted for fraud. You want to do whatever. Oh, you want to have your other friend unalive. It's you, sir. That's what Basil is saying. And we're going to end it right there.
All right.
I'm not even going to ask any special questions. I'm going to just ask what stood out to you guys? What lesson did you learn? Or if you could talk to any character, who would you talk to? Okay, y'all put in the comment section. Scott, the floor is yours.
I don't know what I'll say or lesson learned. Just a lot of lack of accountability. He's just using this picture as an excuse for his own behaviors.
Somebody got to do it. I'm kidding. The lesson I learned is this. When people do not take accountability, it does not just destroy them. It destroys everybody around them. Because Dorian Gray has been like a tornado, baby. He just jumping from place to place, just twirling and tearing it up, honey. Okay. He done got 2 people that unalived and 1 person in prison, 1 person married to a prostitute. I don't know if that's good or bad. It might be good. I don't know. But yeah, everybody around him is just they falling. They felling, frailing, and falling. So it's destroying everybody. So With that, I'm going to end it, unless you had anything else.
I do not.
Okay, well, get Oreo Jr. here, and we are going to end this live. As always, guys, we enjoyed having you guys here with us, and hopefully you guys enjoyed hanging out with us as well. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, check out some other videos, live shorts, and all that good stuff, because this is not a channel just about Scott and Oreo Jr. and I. It's about all of us coming together, just hanging out, having a good time, educating ourselves, getting smart, reading these books, and kind of unpacking what we learned. So with that, I'm going to bid you guys adieu. So, from wherever we are, even when we're in a dusty room with holes all in the carpet, looking at a bad painting that Dorian Gray don't want to take accountability for, to wherever you guys are, peace and love and happiness. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for some Sunday Fun Day School and more of Dorian Gray just running amok, because we halfway through, he ain't even done. And he still ain't gonna take accountability. So with that, we're gonna bid you guys